Wildlings, I hope you're doing well. We have a new series that is starting on the channel. So I thought I would do something a bit more interactive where we can communicate as a community together. I have very much been feeling a need to ground, refine and be a bit more selective with my practice in terms of my day-to-day. I have so many interests and I often find myself feeling extremely overwhelmed because I'm trying to juggle so many tasks and do so many things regarding my practice every single day. So I wanted to just refine things a little bit more in the sense of creating a much more structured approach. So I'm very much an organizer in terms of my time and my studies. I've literally just finished my master's, so that has pretty much been my life for forever now. But I really wanted to bring a bit more of that kind of structure to my actual practice as well. So this is my new journal that I've started for this month, and I literally go through these like one a month. I write like crazy in them, again because I'm just juggling so many things within my interests in terms of my practice. But what I wanted to do for this was I wanted to create 2 videos every single month. If not every single month, if we're getting through the topics a lot quicker, then I might do them every 2 weeks. So a video and then 2 weeks later a second video. And my plan is that the first video is going to be looking at the key themes, so laying out some homework on what I'm going to be doing in my practice for those 2 weeks or that month. And so if there is areas of interest for you as well, you can follow along too. We can set some targets, you can go away and do that as well, and then we reconvene 2 weeks later or a month later, and then I'll do a reflections video where I share my experiences with the topics that we discussed. So I wanted to specify one animal that I would be focused on for that month or that 2-week period, a book or 2 if I was going to focus on them, deity work, plant medicine, just 1, an element, although that might not be every single month or every 2 weeks, depending on how I'm feeling in terms of my more practical side of the craft, and then any specific decks that I'm working with. Now the book, the decks, they're definitely super optional because obviously it depends if you actually have those things, and I'm not going to encourage you to go out and buy things that you don't need or you might not be able to purchase, so don't worry about those. I'm just going to share them with you, so if you do have them then you can also follow along with studying those more intensively, or if they've been sat on your bookshelf for forever and you need to get round to them, then this might just be a good way to do it. But for the month of January, so I've already got the animal that has just been consistently coming out for me in all of my readings. So for January, and let's say January to begin with, and then depending on how this goes, because this is very much a new thing that I'm just going to sort of be working with as we go along with it, either the whole month or for 2 weeks, but the animal is hawk and falcon. So even though they're different species, it's just the interchangeableness of their nature. So either hawk or falcon you can sit with. So that is going to be the animal medicine that we're going to be working with, and it is my intention to try and journey with them at least twice a week. I'm trying to be realistic because although this is going to be the main structure of what I'm doing for my practice, I will obviously have other things that I need to do. I obviously have my Etsy shop, I also have other things that I'm doing in terms of my practice, so these are my main focal points, but I'm going to try and be realistic in my aims in terms of how much I'm actually going to be focusing on these specific things. So twice weekly for the animal of hawk and falcon. So my plan is to journey with them twice weekly and see what medicine they have for me. So be just completely receptive to whatever messages they want to bring through. Try and figure out how I can weave their medicine and the skills that they offer and the gifts that they offer into my everyday experience, how I can apply them to situations and any challenges that might appear for me, and basically just walk with them for that month. So that is the animal spirit. Then we're going to do a plant medicine. So we're just going to do the complete same thing with the plant medicine as well. And I haven't decided on the plant medicine yet, so I thought we would pull from the the Plant Oracle by Philip Cargom and Stephanie Cargom, I think both of them. They both created these decks. They're amazing because there's the Druid Animal one as well, which I have the hawk. Oh, I have the hawk spirit here from that deck as well. So we'll pull a card, but basically we'll do the exact same thing for the hawk as well. So we will journey with the plant spirit twice a week for either 2 weeks or a month. So please can we have a plant ally that will step forward for us to focus our practice on in the month of January. Really? Okay. We got the blank card. I think they're trying to make a point here. Okay, so for the month of January, either for 2 weeks or a month, we have whatever plant spirit we want to work with. So whatever you want to work with, guys, whatever plant that you feel is calling to you at this time, whether it be a tree or a herb or a flower, just work with them. So I need to figure out what one I'm going to work with, because I was hoping that something would have come out, but okay, I guess I'm just gonna, I think what I'll do, I'll just go into meditation, I'll go to my inner grove, and I'll just see what's there, because something will show up. And then I can let you know what I decided to journey with and learn that month. Okay, so that's the plan. So twice weekly for that then. And then in terms of deity work, so I'm always working with, even if not directly, but I'm always giving honorings to and walking in harmony and in unison with the Lord and the Lady Wildwood, so the Horned God, and Queen Guinevere, the underworld queen of spirits, so basically the king and the queen of the Fae, the god and the goddess of the realm of Faery. And if you sort of need a bit more understanding of what we classify as the realm of Faery, then I did just recently upload a video where I spoke about that and the importance of companions and co-walkers in Faery, so you can go and check that out if you need a bit more information on that. But I'm always doing that deity work, so that is a given. So honourings of the god and the goddess of nature, if you want to look at it a bit more broadly. But for this month, for me personally, I'm going to be working with the goddess Lilith. So some people might feel a little bit uncomfortable with that, so if you don't feel comfortable engaging with the Lilith work, then by all means just build your connection with the Lord and the Lady Wildwood. So do tarot spreads, or maybe create an altar that is in dedication to them, or journey with them, journey to meet them, and just see how you recognize their energy and how you engage with them in spirit form. But I am going to be working with the goddess Lilith because I feel very, very drawn to her, and I have done for a good few weeks now, I'd say. And I'm very much on this journey of reclaiming my feminine power, my sexuality, my confidence in my body, and what I choose to dress as, all of those sort of themes of female empowerment. I was very much like that when I was younger, even a few years ago, but I've gone on this huge sort of transformational journey that I'm not going to speak about now, because it's a long story, but I really feel drawn to working with her, and I think she's badass. So I'm going to be working with Lilith, so just doing things again like meditations, offerings, and tarot spreads to communicate with her as well. I'm going to be using the Queen Mab Oracle, the Murder of Crows, and then I think I haven't unboxed it yet. It's down here, down there, I think. The Dream Keeper's Tarot, I think that is going to be really good for communicating with her. It's very dreamlike and a bit trippy. So they're the 3 decks I think I'm going to focus on for these 2 weeks or the month, however long we decide to do this for. It's very much just going to be intuitive, so whenever I put the video up, that will be when I put the video up. So they're the decks that I'm going to be focusing on for those specific reasons. In terms of the Lord and the Lady Wildwood, obviously any decks that you feel are connected to nature and that element of earth, anything that might have a lot of natural symbology in. The Wildwood Tarot, the Druid, Animal and Plant Oracle, those two decks. What else have I got? What's it called? The Forest of Enchantment. See if I can peek in here without spilling everything. Ah! Oh god. Where is it? Oh, the Fairies Oracle, definitely, by Brian Froud. Oh my god, yeah. And then I think it's the Enchanted Forest Tarot. I think that's what it's called. They're just decks that I've got, not the Wildwood one, but I know that that one would be excellent for working with them, obviously, because of all the themes in it. But any decks like that would be excellent to work with those deities as well. In terms of an element, I'm not sure if we'll do this every single month, but right now I feel super drawn to working specifically with the element of fire. I think it's very connected to Lilith, so I think I'll work with it in that regard as well. But I feel this real need to reconnect to my own inner fire, and I can feel it coming forward a bit more. I feel like I've lent a lot more in the realms of water and earth for the last few years, and I need to just bring myself back into balance a bit more with a bit more of that active yang fiery solar energy. So I'm planning on doing some fire scrying and maybe having a fire outside and sitting with it if the weather allows, and also some candle magic as well. And then I think as well just dancing with the element of fire. So I would love to be actually dancing with fire, but it's winter now in the UK, so I'm restricted to indoors for the most part. But just dancing with candles on, or dancing with salamander sort of energy, dancing with Lilith, those kinds of things. That's going to kind of be how excuse me, how I incorporate the element of fire into my practice for this month. Now, in terms of books, I have two books that I'm going to focus on. So the first one is the classic Kim Huggins Tarot 101. I've been doing the tarot now for like 10 years, but sometimes it's nice to just really go back to the basics of it. And like I said, I'm feeling in a very like homeworky kind of mood, and I've heard this book is amazing because it gives you all these exercises to do and homework for each of the cards. So I'm going to be doing that with the Slavic Legends Tarot. The reason why I'm using the Slavic Legends Tarot is because out of all of my decks, it's probably the one that has the most true to the original Rider-Waite-Smith imagery, because a lot of my decks are very liminal and they're sort of recreations of different people's interpretations of tarot. So I have really creative, interesting, amazing decks by amazing artists, but this one, it sticks a bit more true to the original Rider-Waite-Smith imagery. So that's the one that I'm going to be using for going back to basics, if you will, to tarot and making my way through that book. Next is a book that I absolutely adore and is amazing, and this is Green Witchcraft 2. It's the second one because there's like a series of them. But this one is about balancing light and shadow, and there is loads of work concerning the dark powers. So the darker face of the Lord and the Lady Wildwood, the King and the Queen of the Underworld. There's amazing things like she moon rituals, ritual baths that you can take. There's different interpretations for the Ogham. There's just so many interesting things in this book, and I've worked with it a lot since I've had it. I've had it for a few years now, but there's amazing correspondences and all sorts in here, meditations with the crone. It's just a beautiful book and really interesting. So this is one that I just feel really drawn to working with her. And actually, I mean, you can literally see how many things that I've actually folded, but just sort of coming back to it because I think I'm going to find a lot of inspiration in here, and there's a lot of practical tools and a lot of practical practices that can be used in here in terms of fairy workings. So I think it's an amazing companion for a hedge witch. So I'm going to take a lot of inspiration from this book for the next month, I think. So if you are wanting to join me on this journey, I'm sorry that it was a little bit scattered. Obviously this is the first time that I'm sort of creating this structure for this new video series, but if you want to join me on it and let's have a bit more of an intimate connection in terms of our practices, then please do join me, because I would love to hear your experiences of working with these energies and these practices in the coming month, and then we can just communicate back and forth on what you've experienced, what I've experienced, what we've all gained from it, because it's all about sharing. And that's what I wanted to do with this platform. I wanted to move it much more to this sharing space where we can all just share our experiences, how we practice things, and just take comfort and magic in all of the beautiful various degrees that we experience things. So I imagine that as time goes on, these videos are going to be more structured. I feel like that was a little bit all over the place, but I'll get it toned down, definitely. And then we'll come back in 2 weeks time and we'll see, oh okay, apparently 2 weeks. I thought a month, but I've just said 2 weeks, so that must be what we want to do. So let's reconvene in 2 weeks time. Hopefully I'll be able to actually stick to the plan and actually be able to do all of the homework that I'm setting myself, as well as setting you guys voluntary homework, that is. But yeah, hopefully we have a bit of an adventure with it. So I'll see you in my next video, hopefully in the reflections. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below if you're wanting to do this or if it's something that you might enjoy, and I hope I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.